Hey guys, third week, third virtue. Now we're going to talk about the virtue of justice, second cardinal virtue. By the way, did you know what cardinal means? It comes from Latin and it's the hinge because all the rest of the virtues hinge upon these four. And so we had mentioned in the last couple weeks that we had as a foundation for the whole spiritual building is the virtue of humility. And then we have two big pillars with two virtues each. We talked about prudence. Now we're going to talk about justice. So we're getting that right side of our spiritual house firm, all right? What is the definition of justice according to St. Thomas Aquinas and before him Aristotle? It is giving to each one what is due to them. Basically, give what is owed to each one that. All right. Now, let's look at a moment in Christ's life, a parable that we've heard a lot about, and we're going to contrast human justice versus divine justice versus supernatural justice. You and I are called not to mere, just kind of like a lame little justice here that wants every T to be crossed and every I to be dotted, because in this life, it's not possible. So that parable is the adulterous woman. You know the story. This woman was caught having sexual relationships, having a sexual relation with somebody, and the law said that that should not be done. So Jesus is somewhere out there preaching, and apparently he was sitting on the floor, on the ground, and teaching something, and all these men come to him and say, Lord, this woman, we've caught this woman in adulterous actions. Moses, the law, says that this should be done, that she should be stoned. What do you say? He doesn't answer, but then he does answer. And he says, the first one, who is without sin, throw the first stone at her. And they all left. All of them, starting with the oldest. Human justice. The law says it's exactly this, it's exactly that. No place for mercy, no place for redemption, no place for new beginnings. And Jesus Christ says, I do not condemn you either, woman. Go. But he makes it very clear, we're not trying to erase something or take something out of reality, an immorality out of reality. He says to her, go and sin no more. Friends, look, it's this simple. We are called to a higher justice than the justice of men. St. Catherine of Siena, a doctor of the church, said that the same justice that condemns you is the same one that saves you. So in God, justice and mercy, justice and love are always together. So what we have to think about in our times is the call-out culture. Everybody feels entitled to call out everything bad that they see. But you know what the virtue of justice especially demands of us? Is that we are just with the reputation of people. A person's good name, your good name, my good name, is worth everything to a person. Somebody could become depressed, shoot himself, commit suicide because his good name has been tarnished, has been destroyed, obliterated. So for example, you who are in the business world, we have no business in gossiping, slandering, and bringing news of another company and their mess and the managerial mess to other people who don't need to know about it. If there's no reason for them to know about it, it's not justice to come and say those things. Or, for example, let's say that my in-laws are very, very obnoxious. I just don't get along with them well. And we're going to spend Thanksgiving with my family. Coming and telling my family about the problems I see, the difficulties, the dysfunctionalities I see with my in-laws, what good does that do? Justice demands that we tell people that can have a say in it, can have a solution in it, and that in a certain sense, they have the right to know about that. So much we could talk about, so many things that we could say in the virtues of justice. There's also social justice. that is huge. There's social justice that the church has always promoted. But we have just a short time to lay out this second cardinal virtue. So how just are you? This is something that definitely, if we are too, let's say, worried about crossing every T and dotting every I, if we want just the human justice, unlike Jesus in that example, we should take advantage of this season that's coming up, Lent. And in our prayer, in our sacrifices, in our fasting, ask Him, show me your true justice, Lord. I want to know what you think about these things. And suddenly we'll start acting in a just way, but supernaturally and not just naturally. God bless.